Maybe Lapina was right. Maybe we should have kidnapped Zenobia instead of coming here.
Oh, you fuckers. Oh, you.
Should have died a pirate.
Whatever.
Thought. Of course there was a puzzle. You couldn't expect the transcendent Emperor to bury a god's eye in a leather sack where anyone could pick it up. As he held the radiant icosahedron, Renato felt queasy, like dozens of tiny worms were nibbling his inside.
Tell you what, said Lapino. I'll take it to the observatory. You attack the Imperial outpost.
The Imperial outpost was a vital communications node. Taking it could shatter the Empire's ability to coordinate. And it would be full of secret plans and maps and maybe even rebel prisoners. It was a good target for a hero like Renato. But what if Lapino lost the core to the Empire? That could be a good thing, couldn't it? Was Renato ready to take that risk? Maybe it was better if he brought the core to the scientists himself. Lapino was a touchy rabbit. As Renato watched Lapino vanish on the horizon, he could feel nausea building in him. He felt ill. Could his knees really be aching this much? But how could he have handed the core off to Lapino? That was a recipe for disaster. Renato felt worse. All his joints were aching now. He'd been through beatings that felt better than this. So the core had a kind of poison that could harm you without even touching you. That's new. Well, it had power. The rebellion needed something with power. And how was this any worse than a sword wound? Well, a death by sword was sudden and fair. This was just squalid. A piecemeal death, like old age. This would be the perfect place for a tic-tac-toe board.
Personal space?
The observatory was a burning hulk. Dead scientists everywhere. Renato found the mad rabbit cowering under a desk. Renato wasn't sure he believed that. But Peter was talking so fast. He always seemed to make sense. The secret rebel base. Yes. They had engineers there. But wait. Calaveras, the sage in the mountains. Maybe he would know what to do with the naked core. Ah, yes. The secret base. Not even Lupino knew where it was. They had engineers there. Those toads would surely know what to do with the core's power. And then he'd be free of it. But he couldn't take Lupino. The core would work its evil on him too. You stay here.
Give me the coordinates. I'll meet you there.
Lupino seemed awfully anxious to have the coordinates of the secret rebel base. Someone needs to bury these scientists.
Well, why do I get all the fun jobs?
And with that, Renato returned to the Farfarer and took off. The ruins were quiet, but Renato could hear a buzzing in his ears. Was it bugs? Or was it the core slowly feeding him poison? The council would know what to do. If the core had this much power, it could surely change the terms of the great battle that was coming. And maybe they would take this burden from him. Maybe. This was
way better than being able to shrink down to the size of an ant. What was that all about, anyway? Oh, she'd been an amazing rabbit. She could talk to him about comics, and talk to her son about history and battles, and talk to scholars about the ancient tomes hidden deep in the vaults of the Library of Ubar. Oh, Renato really missed her. Renato had left Lupino behind because the core was poisoned. The core was poisoned because he didn't have the armature. He didn't have the armature because he'd rescued Lupino. Oh, Renato's head hurt. How had it come to this? Renato had signed on as an adventurer. Sure, the Emperor had gone mad. Sure, Renato had heard horrors from the ghosts of dead kittens and puppies sacrificed in his blasphemous rituals. But when he jumped in, he'd only been a little bored and slightly broke. And here he was, carrying a bucket of death across a broken landscape. Why not drop it and run? Because he hated to quit in the middle. That was his fatal flaw. He had to know how it all turned out. Boat crashes that were more fun. These things could really use a hand.
That was bullshit.
What was the point of this gate? Did they think no one would notice the lever?